What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the DigimonStory Cyber Sleuth Digilocke. I apologize that episode 2 was a little bit delayed. I was super busy last week with work and personal stuff and didn't really have time to record any extra episodes. But this week you should get episodes on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, aka the days I'm not uploading Villain Lock. Other than that, I do apologize again that I had such a long break, but that will be the schedule going forward. I'm going to aim to get that done, and I'll do my best to keep that schedule. Otherwise, I'm going to make sure you at least get 1 or 2 a week guaranteed. So, I will aim for 3. So, last time we basically did the opening cutscenes and everything, and then got our starter, which is Terriermon. And controls. So something we can do is we can nickname our Terriermon, but I'm going to leave that up to you guys. So drop a nickname in the comments if you want to nickname any of the Digimon that I add to my team, and I will use those as my nicknames. So we have to go off and find Nokia. So I have to go back to the start and then find Nokia and come back. So it's a quick cutscene. But how are y'all doing? Hopefully you guys are excited for this series. Also, in regards to the dialogue, I decided I'm just going to leave the box up, let you guys read it, and let the Japanese voice actors do their job. Wild Agumon and Gabumon appear. So this is just where Nokia meets Agumon and Gabumon. So these will be her Digimon partners. That's... Yeah, you hear someone say you smell familiar, and the first thing you think of is it's embarrassing, not super creepy or anything. And we have returned. It's Terriermon. I'll try not to talk during the cutscenes so you can pay attention to reading them, but if you feel you'd like to hear me talking throughout them... Okay, this is perfect. So as you can see, we have the Digimon Scanner here. So once the scanner gets to 100%, that means we can convert our Digimon. So for this first chapter, I guess we're in prologue, so we got Terriermon as our encounter, I guess. And then once we get to chapter 1, we'll get another Digimon. So by then we should have ideally more than one, but there's also a chance that we just encounter the same Digimon over and over again. So I'm gonna try and keep it as random as possible. By the time we get to chapter 3, we should have a good bunch, and then I'll run an RNG thing and pick it. We might actually get Pabumon here. Ideally, we get Koromon because that opens us up to the Wargreymon line. Because ideally, we want Wargreymon. Very strong attacks and everything. Wow. I won't be going for like every single collectible, but all the like boxes and everything have items and shit which are handy, so we will try to get those. But all like the flashing items, like there's a collectible called the Digimon Medal in this game where you can I shouldn't have turned it out there. Where you can collect them and they give you like trophies and stuff, but we won't be focusing on that really since it's more of a Nuzlocke type game. We just kind of want to beat the game. We don't really care about collectibles. Eventually in the game you unlock something called hacking skills, which will let your character do stuff in this overlay here, which will include moving faster, because the base like character moving speed is like really slow in this game. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get another encounter because it'll give me a level up on Terriermon, which will reset my fully heal him, essentially. Come in! Whack! So we also converted Pabumon. So once we can unlock the converter, we'll RNG our first encounter, and then RNG our Digi-volutions and all that fun stuff. Sorry, I said I'd start doing that, but bad habits die hard. That was freaky. That's a freaky ghost boy. Freaky, freaky. I just realized I had my mouse on there this entire time. I apologize. Oh, fucking hell. Classic Japanese. Evil monsters have to have all these tentacles, don't they? Run, run, run away! No, Nokia! Yay! Agumon and Gabumon. This over here actually, so I can still go through cutscenes. It did 0 damage. So, another thing I kind of forgot to bring up is there are fights where you will be scripted to lose. So those fights we won't count deaths and everything. So like this one, it's not possible to defeat it, so we basically just have to go through the motions until it gets its final attack, which I'm pretty sure is this road terminal. Ideally, we want the opponents to be attacking the guest Digimon because they don't take damage, like they won't die, so it prevents us from taking damage. Off she goes. Run, 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 run! Run away! Uh-oh. We got caught! Well, that was interesting. Warning. An unexpected error occurred during the logout process for Witty Aiba. The logout process cannot continue. The logout process cannot continue. The logout process cannot continue. The logout process will continue. Logout successful. See you at your next login. Thank you. So I guess we did get away? Well, I'm pretty sure that doesn't look quite right. Say what? Well then. That's in my body. So basically, the gist of this is, while trying to log out, the Eater... Okay, the tentacle monster, they're called Eaters, just spoilers, I guess. The Eater was, like, attacking us as we were logging out, and it kind of, like, interrupted the process, and this is what has occurred from logging out of Eden. Yoko Kuremi. Detective. So that should be the end of the prologue. Yeah, chapter 1. So now we can convert our first Digimon. What a mess. Holy balls, what a mess. I haven't played this game in a while, so I kind of forgot how messy her office is. Sorry, I ate lunch right before this. I have something stuck in my teeth. There we go. Trying to get it with my tongue. Well, I need my body back, please.
電脳犯罪事件をはじめ、君の身に起こった怪異的現象のな、そして君が腰掛けているのは何？依頼報酬の件ならば心配しなくていい。大船に。さて、話を、それよりも何よりも前、その姿では。
パンパンパン。
観察して確信した。しかし、君は私の声を、つまり。
I have a half cyber body.
君の体がデータで構成されているならば、見た目は君は基本的空論の放置データの中に問題は。
So basically, I had to go back to where I was and collect avatar parts to make myself whole again. Well, I just entered a TV. This is the digital network. It might show us when we spawn in, but I didn't think it does. So. There you go. So this is basically like the network between destinations. This is just another example of like the multiple encounters that I was talking about before. Bam! Terriermon is strong. Do I just stain on my shirt? I can't see. I can't wait till we can unlock the speed up for like character movement. There's basically like multiple paths, and then other paths lead to dead ends and all that stuff. It's not possible to not get to your destination, you just have to find the right path to take. And now we should appear in, yeah, Eden. So we basically hacked our way from the TV into Eden. It's a very cutscene-y game. I highly, deeply apologize. Once we get like into it, the cutscenes will like lessen a bit, but for the very first little bit, there's gonna be a lot of them. They're basically just explaining like how the hell I got there, so I'm just gonna skip through this. So I think what I'll do is like during like the important story cutscenes, I'll kind of slowly go through it, and then during the ones that really don't matter, I'll just kind of speed through it. And then it automatically takes me here. So this is the Digilab. This is where we're gonna do all our like evolutions, converting, healing, etc. So this is just explaining what's everything in the Digilab. I'll just go one by one and tell you everything that needs to matter. This is the healing machine. It's the equivalent of the Pokemon Center. This is for like online battles. This is the mirror dungeon, so like I can revisit dungeons I've gone to and like grind and train and look for drop items. This is the shop. It only sells very limited stuff. It sells like healing items, but mostly it sells like Digilab stuff. This is the main thing, the Digibank. So like Digi-volution. If I want to like give up encounters to like make mine stronger, usually in my normal playthroughs I do this for like if I have a bunch of scanned Digimon and I need to get to a certain level and I don't feel like grinding. So this is the Digiconvert. This is basically how we'll be doing our encounters. So as you can see here, I only have Koromon and Pabumon available for conversion. So since we're here, I'll just load up a, should have done this before I started recording, RNG thingy. Min 1, max 2. So we got 2. So we're going to go with Pabumon as our first encounter. Congratulations, Pabumon. Welcome to the squad. And then we'll leave Koromon for later. And then next chapter, we'll run the RNG thing again and find out that. So next thing we're going to do is we got to move our Pabumon onto our team. So at the bottom, you can see something called party memory. So something that this game encountered, since you can get like infinite Digimon, something they implement is that your party cannot exceed the memory cost. So on the right side, you can see memory 4 and memory 2. So I have a total of 6. This shouldn't matter too much with the rule set I implemented, but if it does impact it, I will make adjustments necessarily accordingly. So what we'll do is we'll go into Pabumon. Pabumon has 3 Digi-volution paths, so we will go back to our RNG calculator. We will click in 1 to 3. We got 1, so we're going to take the first path once it's available. So I just need to reach level 3. And then Terriermon has 5 paths, but since he's our starter, we'll be picking that. And I'll tell you now, I'm going into Gargomon. Terriermon will most likely just stick to his like natural path, but oh yeah. So this is the thing I was talking about in episode 1. It's called the Digifarm. You basically place Digimon on here, and then you can command them to train, find stuff, find items, all that fun stuff. We're gonna try avoiding using this at all because it kind of makes the game a little bit easier. So we'll just try not use it. Hacking skills. This is what I was talking about earlier. So you can hack in the Eden. I think I'm going to try and get past all this tutorial stuff. So basically, what that tutorial was saying is that the type of machine you can find determines where you can go. In the real world, there'll be yellow ones, which let you go to Digilab and Eden. In Eden, you'll find these little access points that let you go back to the Digilab and do all sorts of fun stuff. And then these are all the hacking skills I was talking about. Eventually, we'll unlock more and such. Actually, I think I can show you. Yeah, so here are all the hacking skills that we can unlock throughout the game. Is acceleration not one of them? So either I have to unlock acceleration, or I just don't get it in this game, which would suck. So here we're going to use our first hacking skill, Wall Crack. So depending on the number of Digimon and their evolution stage, we'll be able to unlock different levels of firewalls. She basically is just telling me I have to go around Kowloon and find avatar parts. This is called the Digiline. It literally doesn't do anything except maybe activate some achievements. We probably won't be using it. I might show it on screen just for showing examples. The Digimon Field Guide is basically their version of the Pokédex. Got an avatar part. Now, I can't remember if there's one over here. Yes, there is. Okay, so this is where we get into types and attributes. So this I'll play along with the tutorial. So basically, if the ring around the target is red, it means it's super effective. If it's blue, it's not very effective. So there's 3 different main types that have the same, like, what's the best way? It's like the fire, grass, water thing. So virus is strong against data, data strong against vaccine, vaccine strong against virus, and then the opposite. So data resists virus, data resists vaccine, virus resists data, and vaccine resists virus. And then there's the attributes. So these ones all are super effective against the other, but they're not resisted by the other. So water is super effective against fire, but fire does not resist water. So it's only going to activate a 1.5, yes, 1.5 damage multiplier. So if I am using a virus Digimon against a data Digimon, and it's a plant type, and I use a fire attack, it's going to do double damage, and then 3.5 times damage. 2.5? I actually don't remember. I think it's 3 if you have both, and then it might be 0.5. So it might be 2.5. Yeah, it is 2.5. So it's going, if I have a fire virus against a plant data type, or if I use a fire attack against a plant type on a data Digimon, it will do 2.5 times damage. And if it's the reverse, it will only do 0.5. Because they don't resist each other. That probably wasn't the best explanation. I'll try to get into it a little bit more once I get little Digimon. Actually, maybe if I slow this down a bit, I can... Okay, so there's also another attribute called free, which is basically neutral, and then light and dark are strong against each other. Victory. Pokemon leveled up. Over here. Abnormal status. So there is things called so there is status moves and everything. So basically the basic rundown is there's confusion, paralyze, sleep, stun, poison, dot, and bug. Confusion is basically the same as Pokemon. You'll attack something it's the same in the sense where you can attack yourself, but the difference between Pokemon is that you might attack your partner instead of randomly attacking the opponent. Paralyze is you can't move, your speed drops, so you'll be dropped in like the turn order to a certain level, and then that will be your next turn. Sleep is basically the same. You're asleep until you wake up. Stun is a little bit different than Paralyze. It reduces my speed permanently, while Paralysis will just drop me in the tier level, and then I'll be cured of Paralysis. Stun will just lower my speed, and so instead of going me, opponent, I might go me, opponent, opponent, me, and then Paralysis will end. Whereas if it's going me, opponent, with stun, it'll go me, opponent, me, opponent, me. Poison is the same as Pokemon, where you'll take damage over time. Dot basically puts me into it. If you remember on Pokemon in your main menu screen, how you have little tiny sprites, it basically turns your Digimon into that, and you can only use basic attacks, no skills. But you can use healing items, but we're not going to do that. And it doesn't... And the last one is Bug. Bug, it basically inverts my typing. So if I'm a vaccine type, I'll now resist data and... I'll now resist data and be weak against virus. And that won't cure itself, while all the other statuses will eventually cure each other. And then there's stat boosts. The one thing you have to remember is you can't stack. Oh, it does stack it. Okay, I read somewhere else that it doesn't stack, but clearly right there it says it stacks, so I'm not quite sure about that. But that is a little different. I didn't know you could stack it. I was under the impression you couldn't. If you have any questions about the rule status and everything, in my opinion, it's pretty straightforward already, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue. But if there is an issue, yeah, we can talk about it. So I just remembered what the damage calculators are. I apologize about maybe misinforming people before. So basically how damage works is it will first check your type, so like vaccine, virus, data, and apply that modifier, and then the actual like fire, water, grass modifier will be applied on top of that. So it's going to apply a 1.5 modifier on a 2 times attack, which is 3 times damage. So that was where I got confused. But in reverse, if I'm resisting something, I'll only take half damage. I won't take minus 3 or negative 3 times. But if I can use, like, if I'm using a data type to attack a virus type, for example, if I'm using a data fire type to attack a virus grass type, the 1.5 modifier will be applied to the half modifier, so it'll actually do 0.75 times the damage instead of the regular 1. I really apologize if these rules are confusing, or not rules. If this explanation is very confusing or something, I'm trying my best. If you have any comments or suggestions for how to do it better, just shoot me a comment. And hit that like button. And hit that subscribe button. That would be really helpful. She's basically just telling me to log out, which we'll do. So we're coming up on about 34 minutes here. So I'll make this episode a little bit longer than usual, just so I can get to the end of it. So we're not just like having all cutscenes all the time. Another thing to note is that our Pabomon is now level 3, so... Actually, you know what? I'll end the episode off by Digi-volving Pabomon at the terminal. Man, these characters are so slow. It's the one downside. Just realized I forgot the timestamp. Alright, so we're going to end this episode off with Digi-volving our Pabumon into... Oops. Motimon! And as you can see, when they Digivolve, their level actually resets back to 1. And the same happens when you de-digivolve. So, understanding when to Digivolve in this will be very crucial because we don't want to be spending all our time grinding. But yeah, so that's going to end off this episode. We're just going to do a quick save. So, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you're enjoying the Digilocke so far. And I will see you for episode 3. Have a great day / night. Peace.